Hey, hey, Ho Squad, hey, Ho Nation. You know what happens when you fall asleep early, like around 8 o'clock, and you are just dead tired? You wake up in the middle of the night. It is like, can I show you? It is 2:58 a.m. And I was doom scrolling. So I said, stop doom scrolling and film something. I'm working on this, be productive if I wake up. Because sometimes you could just sit there and like veg out, and you could have used that time to do something. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm using the time to do something. And so we're going to have a video. Hey y'all. I hope you're doing well. I hope your week has been well, whether it's hanging out, resting, working, whatever it is. I hope it's been a good week. So now let's talk about what the elephants in the room. Let's talk about this elephant in the room. Yes, we are talking about Kayali's Musk Obsessions set, her Freedom Musk set, whatever it's called. Y'all, I know y'all like, what? So let's talk Kayali's Musk Obsession. Okay, so let's start off for the people who are new, who don't know. For the people who know me, they're super surprised because I don't buy Kayali. Not because I think it's a bad brand. I do not. I think it's a good brand. It's just not something that I'm interested in. And for me, I have to be interested in it. And there's a few reasons why I don't buy Kayali. So let me just go over them. Number one, I did buy one whole bottle, and it was nice. I think it was the amber one, but I got turned off when I purchased Eden Juicy Apple, and I'm sorry, it just smelled like a Bath and Body Works apple spray, anything like in that genre, and I felt like it was overpriced for what it was, and it irritated me. And number two, Kayali, of course, is Mona Katan, who is part of Huda Beauty. Is Huda's sister. And so the marketing is very beauty marketing, which turns me off a lot, which means it's about the rapidness. She puts out a lot of fragrances. She's, it's kind of like the color pop of fragrances, because Kayali's always coming out with something. And I feel like she doesn't give people a chance to like really enjoy the fragrances before it's like, oh my God, I got to get another one. And she fosters this, feeling of FOMO. You got to get it. And everybody rushing out to get it because this is the beauty marketing, and it works. I'm not saying it doesn't. Baby, she making money hand over fist with that. And then also with her beauty marketing, which is totally new for the perfume space, she's been doing the launches and everything. And so I find it like people are really pushing to be seen by Kayali, and they're just over the top with their praises of it. Not to say that they're bad fragrances. I don't know. I don't own them. But it just smacks of that beauty marketing and that beauty space where everybody's, kissing ass to get on the PR. Because listen, I get it. I mean, she done flew people out to Dubai, had a beautiful time there. When she's here, she has these wonderful launches. She gives away everything. And she comes off as a very kind person, a very nice person. So I'm never going to discount what she's doing, because she's doing a great job. Great company. Hey, she's doing her thing. But that's kind of like a turnoff for me, just in general. So it's kind of like, never mind. And if I am not a crowd runner. So if the crowd is all there, it's like, y'all can have it. Because I always feel like you can find out about something that's popular from 150 people. Whereas I like to talk about things that aren't as popular because, you know, I might be giving you something a little more interesting, a little different. Now, of course, as I always say, we are in a space now where fragrances are trendy. So if you're not on the trends and the viral, you're not no one wants to talk, view you. And that's okay. I'm okay with that because it's just not my thing. However, I did see this and I have been joking around like, I'm going to get me some Kayali to try. And so when I saw this collection, I said, okay, maybe we'll try it. And I went on Sephora and they had this set in the travel spray of the little mini sprays. And it was a decent price and I could take $10 off. So I felt like I wasn't paying full price. So that like all came together for me to get this one. Now another thing about me, if you're new, is that I don't watch other creators' reviews, especially when I have something that I'm going to purchase that I want to try and purchase or I'm going to talk about. Why? Because I don't like to have their chatter in my head. I know this is weird by comparison to most people, but I don't like the chatter of other creators. So I have not watched any videos about this. I don't know what anybody thinks about it because frankly, I don't want that to be part of my opinion. So this is strictly my opinion on what I think after wearing these for a few days and trying them out. So let's talk about the Musk Obsession set. Okay, so before we get started on this, let me tell y'all about my snarky daughter. When she saw that I had this Kayali, she saw, you got Kayali? She was like, you don't even like Kayali. I said, well, I want to try it out. She said, oh, okay, so that's going to be a gift to me. I should keep it just because she thinks she's so, like she knows me. Like she knows me. You don't know me, Bianca. Don't be acting like you know me. All right, let's go on and keep talking about it. All right, so let's talk about this Musk Obsessions set. So let me just give you something from her website. She says that celebrate the beauty of self-expression with the limited edition Kayali Musk Obsessions miniature set. Perfect to gift or collect, this set features our unique creations from the Freedom Collection. Freedom Musk Bouquet, Freedom Musk Santal, Freedom Musk Matcha, and Freedom Musk Latte. Each fragrance reveals a different expression of musk, from soft florals to bold spices, warm ones to creamy gourmands, to create a scent story that's unapologetically and uniquely yours. Wear them on their own or layer with your fragrance. Now, of course, we know that, one of the big things she says is that her fragrances are meant to be layered and everything, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now, however, let's just talk about the style of it. I will say, she has her, of course, her bottles design. And I do like the color story that this has, going from this, these very neutrals, which musk is a neutral. So it makes sense how they came up with this color story. And then it went from light to darker neutrals. Really, hey, you cannot say anything about the whole marketing, the packaging, the overall that you get, experience you get from Kayali Fragrances. Now, I will say this, is that Kayali is a perfect brand at this time because women are driving the fragrance community heavily. And so, and she's very girly and, very femme, very soft. And so her fragrances reflect that, which is very popular now. Also, she does a lot of things that are very sweet, which makes sense because gourmandish things are very in. So her choices, the choices that they make for the company are just on brand, on trend. She stays on trend. I mean, come on, that her pistachio was on trend, and it actually, she was a little ahead of the trend on pistachio, and everybody jumped on, you know, everybody was jumping on it. Of course, I have a pistachio that came out before, but never mind. But anyway, so let's go into each of these, what I think, which will probably be, let's just be honest, I think that probably, and I don't know, like, of course, because I haven't seen anything, but I'm going to assume that this video will probably be different than the majority of them. Let's just be honest. And there's no shade to the brand, but it's just, it is what it is. I mean, come on, we are talking about me. So let's go into it. And I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Start off with the first one, which is Freedom Musk Bouquet. Let me get you your notes for this, because of course they put, so the notes for this are ylang ylang jasmine, solar notes, pink pepper, musk, Turkish rose, vanilla, sandalwood, praline, vetiver. Now I know she says this is on Fragrantica, but let's look at what she says. Hold on. Okay, so I went back to the Kayali site because I prefer to see what notes they say. They say solar jasmine, ylang ylang, pink pepper, Turkish rose, vanilla musk, praline, sandalwood, vetiver, and the Kayali signature accord, whatever that is. I mean, I'm assuming you all know what it is. I wouldn't know. But let's talk about Musk Bouquet. Okay, so it honestly smells like something I have, or something that I have similar to it, but I can't remember, and I've worn it recently, because immediately when I smelled it, I was like, this smells very familiar. So that's the first part. But let me say that it is a really pretty floral, gourmandish, floral vanilla musk. It is, you know, like for me personally, I like floral musk. I don't need them to have any sweetness in them. I like a good floral musk. However, but based on Kayali and their style of fragrances, of course, it's going to be sweeter, because that is the Kayali branding. They do very sweet, you know, soft, feminine fragrances, which are super popular right now. So this is what this is. It is a floral vanilla musk. And the vanilla is very soft and gentle. This is a very soft, pretty fragrance. Obviously I like it because it smells like something I have. So yes, this is a really pretty fragrance. It is giving you soft florals with this gorgeous underlying vanilla. The praline is not too much. And like I said, I don't know what this Kayali Accord is, so I can't talk about that. But that is what it gives. Now, is it groundbreaking? No. Is it easy to wear? Absolutely, because I think that that's one of the beauties of Kayali as a brand for the people who love it, is that they're, you know, they make really, really crowd pleasing, easy to wear, compliment getting fragrances. And this would get compliments. Now I will say this, it does wear longer than you think it does. I only had on like 1 or 2 sprays of it, and it lasted. Now of course it was kind of more of a skin scent, but I think musk should feel like that. So this is like that clean girl musk, like you've worn, like you had some really good soft vanilla body wash. You know, this definitely gives the vibe of your skin but better. So this is Musk Bouquet. Now next up is Musk Santal. This is bergamot, pink pepper, mandarin, sweet freesia, soft lily, lavender, candied amber, musk santal, vetiver, and the Kayali signature accord. Okay. This, I don't know where she come up with the soft lily, because the lily ain't soft, because it has a sharpness to it. It's a really sharp musk. Once again, it has You see it's got the amber and things like that. And it's probably a combination of the lily and the lavender, which makes it not that great to me. To be quite honest. No. So yeah, and then it, of course, she has to have something sweet, which is that amber and everything. It's not as sweet, of course, as Musk Bouquet. It is, and what did she say it's supposed to be? Let me give y'all what it's supposed to be. Velvety, sensual, and confident. I would not go with that. I'm sorry. So, yeah, this is, I know it's supposed to be like a sandalwood fragrance. No. When I see santal, I think it's going to be a nice, you know, creamy, gorgeous underlying sandalwood. It's not. I'm assuming it's her vibe on sandalwood because it's not the kind that I personally like. But yeah, this is like a sharp fragrance. Yeah, it wasn't. It's no, I wouldn't. And the sharpness stays there. So there's this green sharpness to it. Um, no. Hey y'all, I just decided to throw this in at the last minute because after watching that little video and reading some of the notes for the Musk Santal, I said, well, okay, because in the notes it does not really show any real white florals, but it says white florals and frankincense. I don't know where that came from, but anyway, so I gave Musk Santal another go around, and here's a couple of newer thoughts. Yes, as it's sitting, I do get more, it's orange blossom. I still say that there's a green sharpness to it, and I think with the white florals, there might be a little, they might have gone the neroli and orange blossom route. So I can see why people are saying they really like it because it's orange blossom. Orange blossom has a sweetness to it, and of course, it really pairs well with musk and sandalwood. It does. Wearing it again, it is a familiar scent because of the orange blossom. And orange blossom is extremely popular right now when it comes down to the white florals because of the sweetness. Let's just remember that. I don't get any other white florals in it. I don't get jasmine. I don't get gardenia. I don't get tuberose. But what I do get is a strong white orange blossom and that lily to combine to give it that green sharpness to it. On as it plays on your skin, it does get a little softer and it's not as sharp. It does have that sweet orange blossom vibe. So I can see why people like it and why it is semi-popular of the ones that are here. Now, saying all that, I still don't want it. But I can see why it would be popular because it is in the genre of fragrances that are very crowd pleasing, that are, you know, well liked, easy to wear, especially now because, you know, Love Don't Be Shy, the Oriana, all these very orange blossom heavy fragrances that are popular have made this a really popular note that is very attractive and people want to smell like it and they like the smell of it. So yeah, the Musk Santal, it is prettier. It's not quite as green and sharp, but is it for me? No. But hey, it's not that it's bad. Like I said, it's just not something that I would want. However, if you like orange blossom fragrances, if you like it, want a kind of musky, woody, sandalwoody vibe with a orange blossom, this will be a good one if you don't have one already. I wouldn't say that this is something that needs to be added to anyone's collection that they already have because it's not that much different than any of the other orange blossom fragrances out there. I'm just telling you the truth. All right, so go ahead and keep watching the video. Next up is Musk Matcha. This is matcha, bergamot, mate, green apple, oat milk, praline, coffee, vanilla, sweet musk, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, vetiver. Okay, let's talk. When you first spray it, you do get the matcha. You get this tea vibe. You get a tea musky vibe, right? And that green apple, so it's kind of, like a kind of fresh tea musk, right? But that doesn't last that long. And the interesting thing about this is that I don't know why, if you call it musk matcha, you put in coffee, because the coffee becomes extremely prominent. And this becomes a coffee fragrance. This becomes a coffee musk. It's got sweetness in it, because you do get that sweetness from the praline and the vanilla. So it becomes like a coffee drink. I kid you not. That tea was gone in a hot minute, and then it became like a coffee fragrance. Think like, sort of not intense cafe, because the coffee is stronger than intense cafe. It's more like deluxe coffee. So it's a coffee musk with vanillas and pralines. So it's a soft coffee musk. Yeah. Now, like when you first, like I said, when I first tried it, I did get the green, the tea, but it really just dried down to this, and I kept smelling it on me, like, is this what I'm getting? But yes, so this is a coffee musk and it comes up, and coffee was a thing for a minute. I have a lot of coffee fragrances. This is a softer coffee fragrance. So it's so like everything about this is a very soft, just, gentleness to these fragrances to a certain extent, because in another fragrance, this might be more intense, but it's intense enough to last on you. But like I said, it's just not giving you the tea. When I see matcha, I think tea. I think fresh. I think, kind of earthy and fresh. And the coffee took away from that to me, because I didn't get the sandalwood too much. I didn't get all that, the woodiness of it. I really got coffee musk with the, a little woods in it, but it was coffee, vanilla, just a nice coffee scent with some vanilla, some pralines, and then a little woodiness and musk. That's what I got. Oh, I forgot. It does get a little milky, little lactonic from that oat milk. So that's the other thing. So I'm just saying, it's like a coffee drink, like an oat milk latte. That's what it is. For real. And then we have musk latte. This is bergamot, pink pepper, mandarin, cinnamon, cedarwood, sandalwood, chocolate musk, Kayali signature accord, cafe latte, Turkish rose, lavender, and cypriol. Now this is interesting, and let me tell you why. Because that matcha is more coffee-like than the latte. Makes no sense to me, but it is. You get a little chocolatey coffee, but it's very subtle. It's not like what you would think. That lavender, cypriol, all of these things, it's got spiciness. It has all of that, but it's really not giving that coffee. I'm telling y'all, the matcha was more coffee-like than this. And I think because this is being overwhelmed by things like lavender and things, because as it dried down, let me tell you, it becomes very aromatic. It became very aromatic on my skin and became more of a unisex, dare I say, slightly masculine musk as opposed to this. And let me tell you, this does last, because I only had like 2 sprays and I kept smelling it. Every time I moved my arm, I could smell it. I could smell it. I could smell it. So I was getting it all for quite some time. And that's what I got. I didn't get the lovely latte-like vibe from it. I got a very aromatic, slightly, masculine musk from this. That's what I got. I'm just trying to. So this, and I think it's the lavender and the cypriol and all those combined became a very, very clean, very aromatic, less latte-ish scent to me. So that's the latte musk. Okay. So I know this is, for some, this is not going to be the review that you're looking for, because there's a conflict, right? Let me tell you the conflict. Just being honest, the conflict is, do I try to be nicer? Because listen, Kayali takes care of her people. Mona take care of people. So it's like, do I want to get on the Kayali bandwagon? Do I want to, get invited to lunches and things? And then I said, only if it's true. Only if I'm being honest. And so those are my honest opinions of them. As a collection, if I was going to recommend what to get, I would say get the floral bouquet. I'm just being honest. The floral bouquet is the prettiest, the softest, the most wearable, easy compliment getter of all four of them. Now, of course, the whole layering thing, maybe it makes them better. I don't know. But just for me, I like fragrances that I can just wear, right? I feel like fragrances, if I have to figure out a way to layer them to make them worth wearing, then I don't need them. Okay, so I know this was not the review you thought you were going to get. Well, most of you all probably did, who know me. But I just had to be honest about it, because there was a moment that I said, should I be trying to get on the Kayali bandwagon? Because Mona take care of her people. Should I wax poetic about these and say some really nice things, so maybe I'll get a freebie or so. And then I just can't do it. So I'm just giving you my honest opinion of them. Because understand, for me, now I know Mona, and everybody says about layering. But for me, honestly, a fragrance has to be able to stand alone. And so I don't keep fragrances. I don't want fragrances that I can't just pick up and spray on and feel good about it. So for me, the only one that I would say that I would buy if I was inclined to buy them, which I'm not buying a full bottle, would be the Floral Musk. But like I said, I have something that's similar to it somewhere around here. I can't remember which one, but that's the one that I would, if I was going to get one. The other three, not so much, because they're just not giving what I would want. And then, of course, this is all subjective. I know other people are going to love them and talk about how to layer them. Yeah, you could throw some extra vanilla in these. You could throw some whatever. But if it can't just be standalone, I don't recommend it. Because I believe that any fragrance that you own should be a standalone stunner. It just is what it is. Now, So there you have it, my Kayali Musk Obsessions, whatever this is called, conversation, whatever y'all want to call it. And as always, let me know if you've tried it. What do you think? I'm probably in the minority of my thoughts. And as always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Talk to you later.